Hari Om.
Recording in progress.
Hari Om. Welcome you all to yet another exciting session of Ola Sanskrit Sahitya lecture series. We are reading Abhijnana Sakuntalam, and last time we stopped after a very beautiful verse, Satam hi sandeha padeshu vastushu pramanamantah karana pravruttayah. So Dushyanta is endorsing his feeling, his passion, his love, his longing for Shakuntala. And you know what? There was in a 12th century or so, Kavya Shastrajna called Dhananjaya. In a Dasharupaka, he has mentioned this verse as a very beautiful illustration of Abhilasha. Abhilasha is longing, covetedness. This is one of the 10 Kamadashaha. What are the Kamadashaha? You can search. If you are not able to do that, if you are not able to get the answers, I am there to help you. So Abhilasha is the first stage. There are 10 stages of love or Kama. Dasha Ananga Dashaha they are called. So this is the very first from that. And he says, Tvam Khalu Kriti, this is, Tvam Khalu Kriti would come later, Pramanamantah Karana Pravruttayaha, Tathapi, Tattvataha Enam Upalapsye. I will ascertain what is the reality of her. Because he is in a fix whether she is really the daughter of Kanva Maharshi, a Brahmana, and he is a Kshatriya, then this will be a Pratiloma Vivaha, right? And therefore he is worried. Tathapi enam upalapsye. Sa sambramam. Sambrama bhitya. Little bhiti, little nervousness, and confusion, what to do. She is perplexed. Ambho. Salilaseka sambrama udgataha navamalikam unjitva vadanam me madhukaraha abhivartate bhramarabadham rupayati. So this Salila Seka, because there was sprinkling of water, Seka, sprinkling, Salila, water. Because they were watering the plants, right, all three of them. So Salila Seka Sambrama, Udgataha. Because of that Salila Seka, sprinkling of water, the bees may be seated on some flowers, and suddenly this water sprinkling came, and therefore Udgataha, it just flew, and Navamalika Mujjitva, the creeper which they were watering, leaving aside that, discarding that Navamalika creeper, Vadanam me Madhukaraha Abhivartate. He is following my face. Now this is a very, very significant thing, Vadanam me Madhukaraha Abhivartate. Vadanam me, see, Madhukara would go around some flowers, right? Now why it would go around Shakuntala's face? That means Madhukara has a Bhranti. There is a Bhrantiman Alankara. Who says that Alankaras occur and appear only in the verses? Even in such a prose sentence, they are replete with Alankara and Rasa. So, Vadanam me Madhukaraha Abhivartate. Madhukara, the bee, misunderstands her face to be a lotus. And therefore, it is going in the pursuit of nectar or honey to her face. Anena asyaha padminitvam vyajyate. The commentators, they won't leave a single thing which is fit to be commented upon. Anena asyaha padminitvam vyajyate. And what do you mean by Padmini? There are, Padmini, Hastini, Shankhini. These are the types of the heroines. Padmini is a type of heroine. Even in the Meghaduta we have Tanvishyama, Shikhari Dashana. All these Lakshanas are of Padmini type of heroine. Now there is a verse in Rati Manjiri. And what is Padmini? Who is Padmini? They say, Bhavati Kamala Netra. Her eyes are like lotus petals. Nasika Kshudra Randhra. The nostrils are very small. Nasika Randhra is Kshudra, very small. Avirala Kucha Yugma. Her breasts are so thick, there is no space or distance between her densely rounded breasts. Dieghakeshi, having long hair, Krishangi, very, like Tanvi, Krishangi, Tanvi, slim, slender, Mrudu Vachana Sushila. She always speaks very soft, tender words, no harsh words, no ucharava, soft voice, Then Nritya Geeta Anurakta. She is a lover of Nritya and Geeta. Sakala Tanu Suvesha. And the entire body she covers very nicely. It is not that because she is so good and physically, very proportionate, it is not like you reveal your avayavas, So, Sakala Tanu Suvesha, Padmini Padmagandha. And she has the fragrance of Padma, and therefore Madhukara mistook her for lotus, and it is hovering around her. Bhramarabadham Rupayati. Now, Bhramarabadham Rupayati, for that also, no, the commentators are so clever. They have all the manuals of the Natya Shastra and the Abhinaya Darpana, etc. with them. So, how to enact, gesticulate that she is, being harassed by the Brahmara. So, they have given all the actions, how the natter, the nati should act, on the stage, gesticulating, oh, she is, chased by the bee, harassed by the bee, and she is trying to ward it off, all that they are given here. It is like Vidhutena Shirasa, she will shake her head, move her head. Kampitena Adharena, her lower lip will be throbbing. Kampitena Adharena. And Mukhadesha Sthitena, Mukhadesha Sthita, the Brahmara is coming to her Mukha. So, Parang Mukha Talena Chanchalena Patakena iti. The Karatala, with that, she wants to ward it off. All that is clearly given here, and it is, there are so many other things also. Okay, like Patakaha, Tarjani Moola Sanlagna Kunchita Angushthakaha. Tarjani, this is the Tarjani. Tarjani Moola Angushtha, okay, Angushtha Moola, Kunchita Angushthakaha. And these three fingers, this is Patakasthana. And with this, she is warding off, okay. So, this is a very beautiful description. Bhramarabadham Rupayati. And then Raja, Saspraham Vilokya. Vilokya Visheshena. It is not just seeing. He is looking at her with keen interest. And that Saspraham, enviously. That spruha is for the bee. Oh, see, the bee is having so much closeness, so much proximity with Shakuntala, and I am sitting here, I am standing here in ambush, hiding myself behind a tree. And the bee is really so blessed, so fortunate, and therefore he is envying the bee. Okay. And then a very beautiful verse here. Chalapangam drishtim sprushasi. But before that verse, the commentators say that there is one more verse. But because it doesn't occur in many of the manuscripts, in the main text they don't incorporate it. But still there is one verse. So we'll hurriedly read that verse also. Suppose the edition which you are referring to may have this verse, and then you will say, oh, Gauriji didn't read that. So I will read it. Yato yataha shatcharanaha abhivartate. Wherever shatcharana, that is shatpada, the brahmara, the 6 feet. Shatcharanaha abhivartate. Tatastataha prerita lola lochana. Wherever, in whichever direction the brahmara is coming, in that direction her lochana are rolling around. As it is, her lochana are lola. They are tremulous. They are not steady. Steady is like this, like dhyana. But normally, for the young girls, their lochana have to be like flickering, going here and there, apanga, etc., So lola lochana and yataha yataha shatpadaha abhivartate tataha tataha. In that direction, prerita, she is looking, oh, where is he coming? Vivartita bhruhu, and her bhru is also, her eyebrows are also going towards that. Vivartita bhruhu, iyam, that is Shakuntala, adya shikshate, she is teaching what? Drishti vibramam. How to play with your drishti. How to sport with your drishti. Drishtehe vibhramaha. Drishti vibhramaha. So drishti vibramam adya shikshate bhayat. She doesn't want to teach you that. It is not a lesson or drishti vibhrama that she is sitting in the class and she is teaching you. She doesn't want to do that. Akama api. Though she is not desirous of teaching you that, still out of fear, wherever that bee comes, there she takes her eyes and in a way, indirectly, she is teaching us the drishti vibhrama. Okay? So this is the verse. And then Raja Saspruham Vilokya Chalapangam Drishtim Sprushasi Shikharini Vritta Chalapangam Drishtim Sprushasi Bahusho Ve Pathumatiim Rahasyakhyayi Vasvanasi Mridu Karnantikacharaha Karam Vyadhunvatya Pibasirati Sarvasvamadharam Vayam Tatvan Veshan Madhukarahataha Tvam Khalukriti. Now the first three lines here, they give you the Brahmara Swabhavokti in a way, Whatever are the actions, the behavior, the Brahmara is going around her face. Her face consists of so many small organs, like there are eyes, there are ears, there are lips, there is nose, like all these organs. So how Brahmara is doing, hovering around her face, and whatever organs he is going near, all that description comes in the first three lines. This is a Brahmara Swabhavokti, you can say. Oh Brahmara, he is addressing Brahmara, Madhukara, as Madhukara. It's a Sambodhana. Vayam Tatvan Veshat Hataha Tvam Khalukriti. We, who are we? Amhi Kona Manu Nikaya Pusata. Amhi, because he is like Raja, and therefore Vayam. Vayam Tatvan Veshat Hataha. We are undone. We are of no use. We are sitting here doing nothing. Why? Tattvan Veshat. Because he has already earlier said, Tathapi Tattvataha Enam Upalapsye, right? And therefore, what is the reality I want to ascertain? So I am here sitting, doing nothing, just thinking of who she is and who are her fathers, what is her parentage and family, kula, this, that, and whether my love for her is justified or not. And you did your job, like this. I am just looking at you, doing nothing. So I really envy you. I am jealous of you. Okay? Vayam Tatvan Veshat. Tvam Khalukriti. That every word, is commented here by the commentators. Tvam, it is like a Kshudra Bhava. It is Kshudra. Who are you? An insignificant bee, an insect. Tvam. But today, you have proved yourself. And who am I? Vayam. I am the king. And that comes next, Paurave Vasumatim Shasitari Durvinitanam. I am a Puru king. I am ruling and I am chastising all the wicked people here and all that. So Vayam. And still, this is the Virodha. You are such an insignificant insect. And you could do that which I, with all my glory and all my, regalia around me and my Shakti, my potential, I am helpless. I didn't do anything. And therefore you are superior to me, though very, very insignificant insect like a bee. So this is the contrast, and therefore Vayam and Tvam. Tvam is, it's not Bhavan, there is no respect. Tvam, Akshudra bee, but Kriti, Kritam asti yena iti, who did whatever he wanted to. So the bee wanted to do something and he did achieve that, and therefore Tvam Khalu, Kriti. Now what is that Kritya? What is the thing which the bee did? That comes in the first 3 lines. Okay? Chalapangam vepathumatim drishtim sprushasi bahushaha. She is, has a little tremor in her body because sasambramam, there is bhiti, bhitya, because, all of a sudden that black bee, monstrous looking like, it is hovering around her and she didn't expect it. And it is coming very near to her and she can't ward it off, and therefore she is little nervous, she is little frightened, and therefore all her actions are, like kampa, sveda. These are the sattvika bhavas. These are the sattvika bhavas. So vepathumatim and chalapangam, her apanga, apagatam angam. It is not the main eye, it is the corner of the eye. Corner of the eye, not the main eye, right? So corner of the eye, chalapangam, drishtim sprushasi. So you go near her eyes. When a bee goes near the eyes, as for that matter, bee goes near the flower, it sits gently, lands on the petals of the flower and tries to suck the nectar, the madhu. It is the action in the Kama Shastra called chumbana. It is kissing. It is as good as kissing, right? So when the bee goes near her netra, it is netra chumbana in a way. And the king is just looking at it, doing nothing, hiding behind, the bush. So, chalapangam drishtim sprushasi bahusho vepathumatim. And in Kama Shastra it is stated that, when the Nayika is mugdha and she is nervous, then the lover enjoys kissing her all the more than when she is all favorable to him and she also is ready to kiss him. It is the other way, when she is a mugdha, then the charm in kissing is more than when both of them do it with mutual consent. So, bahusho vepathumatim rahasi akhyai vasvanasi mrudu karanantika charaha. Karanantika, near the outer lobe of the ear. Karanasya antike charati iti. So, one who goes near the outer lobe of the ear, not in the ear, right? Not in the whole of the ear. Outer lobe, karana, antika, charaha, as if what? He is mridu svanasi, rahasi akhyaiva. As if to tell her some secret, something which is, others should not. Then you go near the ears and utter something, murmur something, and therefore mridu. It is not a loud, harsh sound. Mrudu svanasi, little, like humming of the bees near her ears, as if the lover is telling her some secrets and which only she knows and he knows. Nobody else, people in the vicinity won't even hear it. So, as if you are telling some secret of love and therefore you are going again and again. This is all bahushaha. This is not only one time you are doing it, many times. So this is not only one time he is coming to the netra, only one time coming to the shrotra, it is many times, bahushaha. So bar, you are going near her eyes and kissing her eyes. Bar, you are going near her ears and as if telling her sweet nothings into her ear, murmuring something, sweet loving words in her ears. And karam vyadhunvatyaha, and though she tries to ward off you, karam, not karau, karam, via singular. It is not like this. This is not a signaling, oh, you don't come near me. And secondly, she is holding the water pitcher in one hand, they are all watering the plants. And therefore, maybe the water pitcher is there in one of the hands, maybe the left hand which she has taken on her kati, and with right hand, like she is doing like this. So karam vyadhunvatya. So every word, the vachana also, matters here. It is not karau. Though she has both the hands, she would use only one hand. So karam vyadhunvatyaha vi a dhunoti. Dhunoti is the verb that is to shake, to move. Vi, visheshena, arvak, like that, arvak. Near her face that bee is coming, and therefore she is warding off. And visheshena, vigorously, forcibly, she is trying to ward off that bee. Vyadhunvatyaha pibasi ratisarvasva madharam. You are drinking her adhara, her lower lip, which is ratisarvasva. The essence of rati, the love, lies in the lower lip. It is not the oshta chumbana, the upper lip. It is always the adhara, because the adhara throbs when the lover comes near the mugdhanayika. It is only the adhara, and therefore adhara chumbana is, Mallinatha would comment on that, not on here, on Shakuntala he doesn't have a commentary, Raghava Bhatta has it, but then at other places, Meghadoot and others, he would say, Kamininam adharasvadaha suratad atirichyate. In the Meghadoota he comments, when the cloud drinks the water of Vetravati river, that time the comment comes in the Bhashya, Kamininam adharasvadaha suratad atirichyate. Adharasvada is more charming, more sweeter than the actual intercourse, sexual intimacy. So, karam vyadhunvatyaha pibasi ratisarvasva madharam. Adhara is, we saw that. And adhara is as if the chapa of Kamadeva. Adhara is as if the chapa of the Kamadeva. Here vyadhunvatyaha is a shashti. This we can say as a satah shashti. This is shashti cha anadare. Shashti cha anadare. Though she is trying to ward you off, still, despite her all efforts, you are still going near and near her. That means you don't care the least for her. Her resistance, you don't care at all. You don't count her resistance at all. And you do whatever you like to do. So this is like a drishta kamuka. This is like a drishta kamuka. Though the mugdhanayika tries to ward him off, he would go near and near that mugdhanayika and try to kiss her lip. Okay? So this is the drishta kamuka figure for this. This bee is like a drishta kamuka. So that is what this one says, the commentator says. And vayam tattvanveshat vastu vritta anveshanaya hataha niruddha pravrittayaha. I did not do any pravritti. I did not do any action. I am sitting here actionless, idle, and you have done whatever you wanted to. In fact, it is whatever I wanted to do. You could do it. And I am just sitting here doing nothing. So there is an envy, there is jealousy, and there is like sukshma asuya for the fortune of that bee. How fortunate that bee is. So many things are there in this particular verse. Shikharini vritta anadare shashti nilotpaladi bhrantya. There is a bhranti. That's why the madhukara is hovering around her face. So there is bhrantiman alankara. Then rahasi akyayi iv. As if you are telling something sweet nothings murmuring into her ear. It is utpreksha. Rahasi akyayi iva utpreksha. Vayam hataha tvam khalu kriti is vyatireka. And Brahmara Svabhavokti. So 4 alankaras here. and each alankara is like separately gotten with us. I mean, we can identify separately, so there is no sankara, it is samsrushti. And this is, as in the Kama Shastra it has been stated, it is step by step progressing towards the fructification of love. So first the outermost netra chumbana, then the ear, it is shrotra chumbana, rahasyakhana, and then adhara chumbana. So this is step by step progress and development. And he just feels that, wish I could be in the place of the bee. So that is what Dushyanta really feels here. So bee is as if a rival of Dushyanta here. He doesn't need any other enemy. Other enemies who come there in the bodily form like asuras and other people, he has that much strength to defeat them, to vanquish them. But for this bee, he is helpless. He can't do anything. Shakuntala, na esha dhrishtaha viramati. This dhrishta is not stopping at all. And vayam also, it's a self-contempt also in a way. It's a disrespect towards his own self. Oh, I belong to such a great Puru family, this and that. But see, what is my situation now? I'm just helpless. I cannot do anything. I can't reveal myself and go in front of them, right? So that is a disregard and disrespect for his own self, that is dhikkaram. He is doing the dhikkara of his own self, and B, he is admiring also in a way for his hathakamukatva or dhrishtakamukatva, and that word dhrishta comes in Shakuntala's statement, na esha dhrishtaha viramati. Now, for that dhrishta, there is one pathabheda called duttho. Instead of dhittho, there is duttho. Dutta is dushta. Now, which pathabheda? This is a very minor thing, but then I feel dushta is not what she really means to say. It is not wicked. That B is not wicked. It is having closeness, nearness to her, despite her warding it off. So it is like dhrishta. In Marathi, we have a very nice word, dhatingana. Dhatingana sarki dandgai kartoy. These are the words which really convey the meaning. Dhatingan is like, you, howsoever you try to keep him away, he would come near you. So, but he is not dushta. He is not dushta, okay? So, dushta we should not take. Na esha dhrishto viramati anyataha gamishyami. Oh, he is harassing me at this place. I will go to some other place. Padantare sthitva sadrishti kshepam katham itaha api agacchati. Oh, he is coming here also. The bee is not leaving her because her vadana is Padma. And therefore Padmini, she is a Padmini type of Naika. So Padma Bhrantya, Kamala Bhrantya, this bee is going near her. So hala paritrayetham mam anena durvinitena madhukarena paribhuyamanam. I am being, defeated again and again. Paribhuyamanam parabhava. That is, I can't keep him away howsoever hard I try. So hala, please you too, ubhe, paritrayetham. This is a dvivachana. Please protect me from the attacks of this dhrishta madhukara, this dheet, very dheet madhukara. So, yeah, she says, Sasmitam ubhe, they say together, ke avam paritratum. This is a typical, three girls of the same age having a conversation, not aware that king is hiding behind and listening to their conversation. And therefore, ke avam paritratum Dushyantamakranda. Who is our king? Go and call Dushyanta. Who are we to protect you? Ke avam paritratum Dushyantamakranda. And for that, they give a karana. There is a kavyalinga. Kavyalinga alankara is Raja Rakshitavyani tapovanani nama. Even the tapovanas are to be protected by the king, right? Because the king is our ruler. He is not only ruling the people in the capital city, even the tapovanas are to be protected by him. Raja Rakshitavyani Tapovanani Nama. So, Raja feels, avasaraha ayam atmanam prakashaitam. This is the good opportunity for me to reveal myself, Na bhetavyam, na bhetavyam. Oh, this is how I should make an entry. Oh, please don't be scared, Na bhetavyam, na bhetavyam. And, but then he says, no. Rajabhavaha tu abhijnataha bhavet. If I go at the very moment when they are saying Dushyanta Makranda and I make myself visible, they would feel that I am the king. He wants to hide his regality, okay, his rajatva. So rajabhavaha abhijnataha bhavatu. So let me think. Let me not go now when they are saying this. Evam tavad abhidasya. I should say like this. So he is pondering over. In between Shakuntala padantare sthitva sadrishtikshepam katham itaha pimam anusarati. So she is wandering around and wherever she goes, the Madhukara also is following. And then Raja, he has already thought of what he should say. And then he makes an entry. Sattvaram, quickly. Tvaraya. Sattvaram upasritya, going near. Kah paurave vasumatim shasati shasitari durvinitanam ayam acharati avinayam mugdhasu tapasvikanyasu. Who is this? Kaha eshaha? Who is avinayam acharati? Who is practicing very rudeness, improper rudeness, especially Mugdhasu, the innocent, Tapasvikanyasu, the hermit girls. If there is somebody doing some avinaya, being rude to the city-bred people, the city-bred people are also like that. Okay, so this is tit for tat. But Mugdhasu, Kanyasu, Tapasvi Kanyasu. So all this add to the incongruent, improper behavior and the rudeness gets graver and graver. Okay, so the rudeness of the bee becomes more grave when the rudeness is directed towards the innocent hermit girls. Kaha ayam avinayam acharati mugdhasu tapasvi kanyasu, and that is highlighted because while I am ruling here, who dares to do that? Kiski himmat hai? Like that. Who dares to do all such kind of improper things while Dushyanta is ruling over this kingdom? Kah paurave vasumatim shasati. This is a typical Sati Saptami Rachana. Sati Saptami locative absolute it is called. As we have Satashashti, this is the Sati Saptami Rachana. This also has the sense of anadara here. Here, this also has the sense of anadara. Paurave, it is not any family, it is the Puru family, the great Puru family. Okay, Yayati's son, Puru. Kaha Paurave Vasumatim Shasati. Again the word Vasumati here it is used. Vasu is wealth. When a king is ruling, it is his duty, bounded duty to protect his people with their belongings. And he is protecting, he is the Bhupati. It is not Bhumipati or Dharapati or Dharanipati. It is Vasupati, it is Vasumati. The Prithvi is also called as Vasumati, so Vasu needs to be protected. Vasu Idhana, right? So this becomes his first Adya Kartavya. So Vasumatim Shasati, and how is this Paurava? He is known as Shasitari Durvinitanam. He is Durvinitanam Shasta. Like we have Dharma Shasta, Ayyappa. He is the Dharma Shasta there, and especially he is the one who chastises or vanquishes, eradicates and gets the Vasumati free from all the wicked people. Durvinitanam, the ill-behaving people. And this fellow here, he has that much, courage. And he's so audacious, he won't listen to anybody. He is not being warded off and all. And more nearer, he is going to this Tapasvi Kanya. And therefore, Kah Paurave Vasumatim Shasati. This is the Sati Saptami. And for Paurave, there is an adjective, Shasitari Durvinitana. When there is a ruler who rules over and vanquishes the ill-behaving people, the crooked people, or the cruel people, who has that much gut, who has that much courage to harass and trouble, and that too while I am standing here, while I am ruling the kingdom. So as if that insignificant thing cares the least for me also. Right? That bee, insignificant bee, cared the least for Shakuntala's resistance. And now it doesn't care the least even for my rule here. I am here like such a great Puru king standing in person here, and he is going on doing this Durvinaya. How dare he do it? Okay? Katham acharati avinayam mugdhasu sarvaha rajanam drishtva kinchidiva sambhrantaha. All are like, all of a sudden, they get this person into, of course they don't know that he is a king, because he has already removed all his Raja Mukuta and all, and he has given it to the Sarathi. We have seen that, right? Then Anasuya, she comes forward. When all three of them, they get startled, nobody knows what to talk, what to say, Then Anasuya comes forward. That also underlines that she is the most mature of the three. She is perhaps the elderly by some 2-4 years, elderly to Shakuntala and Priyambada. Arya, na khalu kimapi atyahitam. Nothing great has happened. It's only, iyam nau priyasakhi madhukarena abhibhuyamana katari bhuta. She got afraid because the Madhukara is again and again harassing her. That's why it's not a great thing that, you should not give an evidence of Paurava ruling the kingdom and who has the courage to harass the Tapasvi Kanya. Nothing of that sort. Only this small insignificant creature, Madhukara, and this our Priya Sakhi, this Shakuntala, got a little frightened because of that. Shakuntalam darshayate. Iyam nau Priya Sakhi. And so he knows now. See, the very word he said, Mugdhasu Tapasvi Kanyasu. He doesn't want to be, getting or taking the side of Shakuntala directly and telling, oh, I am here and I can save you. Nothing of the sort. King has to be balanced really. And he has to ascertain who is she and all that. Before that, he won't make any advances. And the word Tapasvi Kanyasu, the plural, is very significant. The very first time when he came and he entered, his remark is, Aho Madhuram Asam Darshanam. Asam Darshanam, not Asyaha Darshanam. So these are the plurals, which really matter for us. And then she points out to Shakuntala, Iyam nau Priya Sakhi Madhukarena Abhibhuyamana Katari Bhuta. Katari Bhuta is a Chvi formation. See the smaller things, very trivia. Katara, she is not timid by nature. Katara is timid, coward. But she is not coward by nature or timid by nature. Because of this bee, she has been rendered, She has got this timidity because of that Madhukarena Abhibhuyamana. So, Abhuta Tadbhave Chvihi. The thing which is not really the nature, when it adopts that nature, the Chvi form is used. Okay? Putri Krutau Sauvrishabhadvajena, I always quote this. Amum Pasya Devadarum Purataha, Putri Krutau Sauvrishabhadvajena. The tree is not actually the son of Lord Shiva, but it has been rendered the designation of Putra putri kritaha asau. So katari bhuta Shakuntalam darshayati Shakuntalabhimukho bhutva api tapo vardhate. Does your penance, austerity prosper? Now this is a normal way of asking whenever you meet a Brahmana. Because Brahmanas are always, and he takes it for granted that she is a Brahmana Kanya. Kanvarashehe Kanya, right? And therefore, apitapo vardate Brahmanam kushalam prichet. Whenever you meet a Brahmana, you ask for the kushala. Especially the Kshatriyas, they need to ask the kushala. And what kushala they will ask? Oh, how are your austerities? Everything is going on smoothly. How are you are running Gurukula? Any problem for you? So all these things, right, for a Brahmana. So apitapo vardate. So all the circumstances are conducive for your austerities. Do you face any problem there? Huh? The ambience is okay. It's all conducive. Shakuntala sadvasad avachana tishtati. Shakuntala is taken aback, sudden appearance of the king, and avachana tishtati. She is speechless, she can't utter a word. Sadvasad. Sadvas is sadvasad or sadvasa is Tritiya or Panchami here. Sadvas is fear basically, but it should be nervousness. It is not fear. She got a little bit nervous, right, when the king appeared suddenly in front of her. And therefore again it is Anasuya who replies. Neither Shakuntala nor Priyamvada, it is Anasuya who replies. Idanim atithi vishesha labhena hala Shakuntale, apitapo vardhate. Now that means everything is okay. Shakuntala doesn't speak a word, but she, Anasuya, says, Idanim atithi vishesha labhena. Oh, we got a very special guest today. I mean, she doesn't answer that question. It is as good as answered. When everything is okay, you need not yes or no. The Dushyanta also, the king, doesn't expect the answer in yes or no. Right? This is a general way of etiquette. This is an etiquette, a mannerism, that he should ask kushala. And therefore he is asked that. Idanim atithi vishesha labhena. Today we are fortunate to have a special guest like you. Hala Shakuntale. Now she has to bring Shakuntala to her normalcy, and she should be taking care as a hostess, because Kanva has entrusted the entire ashrama to her and gone back to Prabhasa Kshetra. So Hala Shakuntale gacha utajam. You go to our Paranakuti, Phala Mishram Argham Upahara, and bring argha along with some fruits. Now argha normally has, some 7-8 ingredients in that, but it doesn't consist of the fruit, and therefore phala mishram argham, she says, phala mishram argham. It is like the siddharthaka, the tila and water and dadhi and sarpi and all that, but there is apaha kshiram, the water, kshira, milk, kushagram, kushagra, the kusha grass, dadhi, curd, sarpihi, ghee, satandulam, with the grains of rice, yavaha, barley, and siddharthaka. Siddharthaka are the, what is this? Rajika, rye seeds. What do we call it? Rye? Bagar mein dalte hai wo? I forget the English word, whatever. I mean, I know the word, but it is not coming to me. So, Siddharthaka, these are white mustard seeds. Mustard seeds. तेल में डालते हैं ना, सब्जी बिब्जी बनाते हैं तो mustard seeds. And Siddharthaka, the white one, this has a special thing. In Banabhatta's Kadambari, I think, not Kadambari, in the Harshacharita, there is a reference that in Kadambari there is a reference, when Tarapida's wife is pregnant, she is to give birth to Chandrapida, her lying in chamber, the Sutika Griha was, all over the Siddharthaka were scattered in the room. Siddharthaka, the white mustard seeds, they are apparently, warding off the evil eye. And it is the mother-to-be and the newly born child, they are most susceptible for the evil eye. Nazar utarte hai na, and therefore for nazar utarna also we take the mustard seeds. Meet mohrya uvalun takane. Meet mohri. Mohri is Siddharthaka. So Siddharthaka is such ingredient. So there are 8 ingredients, as I said, apaha, kshiram, dadhi, sarpi, etc. But phala is not there, and therefore Anasuya says, bring argha along with some fruits, because he is a special guest. Atithi Vishesha, special guest, right? So, idam padodakam bhavishyati, they already have water. So, for padya, the water is already there in their ghata, okay, in their pitchers. Then Raja says, Raja doesn't want Shakuntala to go away from his eyesight. So, Gacha Uttajam means, that much viraha. She will go to the Uttaja, then come back. Till then, what he is supposed to do? So, he doesn't want her to go at all. But how to say that? So he says in a very indirect and polite, courteous manner, Stri Dakshinya, he says, Bhavatinam sundritaya eva gira kritam atithyam. No need to do atithya. You are so speaking so sweetly, Bhavatinam. In fact, only Anasuya has been talking to him so far. Neither Shakuntala nor Priyambada, but mark Raja's politeness, though he means to say that none of others has spoken a single word, they will be speaking as sweetly or more sweetly than Anasuya. So, Bhavatinam sunritaya gira eva atithyam kritam. No need to do atithya. Then Priyambada said, now Priyambada comes forward. So now she has got some courage. Okay. She said, Tenahi asyam prachaya shitalayam saptaparna vedikayam muhurtam upavishya parishrama vinodam karotu aryaha. Please remove your fatigue. Parishrama. Paritaha shramaha. You seem fatigued because, he was on a hunting expedition. Right? Parishrama, Vinodam. Now, Vinoda, normally in Marathi we say Vinodi Lekhak, Vinodi Kavita, Vinoda is humor. And Vinodi Lekhak is an author who writes humorous articles or humorous poems, Vinodi Kavi, etc. Hasya Nirmana Karta. But V plus Nuda, if you go to the etymology of that, Nuda is prerana, V Nuda is, prerana in a different direction. Getting you to different direction, diverting you. So, Vinoda is anything which diverts your mind. And therefore, Hasya, if there is something coming, a fun thing, then it becomes a Vinoda. And normally it is Hasya which diverts our mind, especially when we are in a sad, melancholic state and all that. And therefore Vinoda generally came to known as Hasya or humor. But Vinoda is typically, etymologically, diversion. Parishrama Vinodam karotu, divert, because you are already shramita, okay? Shranta. And not Shramita, you are Shranta. So please sit here, and so that you will relax for a while. Where you are supposed to sit? Saptaparna Vedikayam. On this Vedika, Vedika is literally, is what you can say, a raised seat. Vedika is a Yajna Vedi also. Vedika is Yajna Vedi, and it is any platform, as for that matter, raised in the ground for sitting. Now, Saptaparna is a tree, Saptaparni, Saptachhada it is called, and normally in the summer season it blossoms. It has long manjiri, and white flowers all around, and it has a very enchanting, captivating fragrance. And normally that Saptachada Gandhimat, it is stated to be in the description of Ganesha, Ekarada Dvimatura Nistraigunya Chaturbhujopi Panchakaraha Ai Shanmukhanuja Saptachada Gandhimat Ashtatanu Tanaya. So that is the verse for Ganesha. So Saptachada Gandhi, the elephants from whose temples the ichor, the rat, oozes out, it has the smell or the fragrance as that of the Saptaparani flowers. And therefore, the bees, they hover around the Madamasta Hasti, and such a Hasti, such a Gaja is called Gandha Gaja. There is a whole Hastyayurveda or Gaja Shastra in Sanskrit zoological text, Hastyayurveda or Gaja Shastra, and you have, the black body, the brownish black body of the elephant will get the spots of color of honey, the reddish spots, the golden reddish spots all over the body, and the srava, the madasrava would start, on which all the bees would hover around. Okay, I just diverted for some time. So, Vedika is basically झाडाचा कट्टा किंवा पार. All around the tree, you build up, with mud and bricks and stones, something which is little up from the above the ground, so that you can sit there and chat and all the things. So, Saptaparana Vedikayam, it's a big tree, and therefore there will be dense shade, Prachaya, and because there is dense shade, it will be Shitala. So, Prachaya Shitalayam Saptavarana Vedikayam, the seat will be very cold because there is dense shade. So, Muhurtam, for a while, Upavishya, you sit here so that all the fatigue will go away, that will be diverted. Raja says, Nanu yuyamapi anena karmana parishrantaha. You are also tired because he is seeing all of them carrying the pitchers of water, the water jars in their hands, and therefore the suggestion is, why don't you also sit down? I am going to sit as you requested, but why don't you sit down? Now he just can't tell them, please you also sit. He just makes a remark, and the implication is they will also be sitting there. Yuyamapi parishrantaha. Then Anasuya says, Hala Shakuntale, Uchitam Naha Paryupasanam Atithinam. We have to wait upon the Atithi. We can't leave the guest alone and go on doing our own things, When the guest comes, we have to wait upon the guest, attend the guest. So, Paryupasanam Atithinam Uchitam Atra Upavishamaha. So, let us sit here. She gets that, she catches that implication. Sarvaha Upavishanti. Shakuntala Atmagatam, she has not uttered a word, okay, but Atmagatam she says, Kinnu khalu imam prekshya tapovana virodhina vikarasya gamaniyas tapovana virodhino vikarasya gamaniyasmi samvritta. This is a very weird construction by Kalidasa. Normally doesn't do such complex constructions. That means some tapovana virodhi vikara is arising in my mind. How come? Kinnu khalu imam preksha, after seeing him, something unusual is happening. That is what she wants to say. And what is that unusual? Normally when they are in the ashrama, in the tapovana, they will be, doing the austerity, they will be talking about the yajna and the dhuma and the mrigashavaka and the yava and this and the that. I mean, everything regarding the ashrama ambience. Something bubbling, something coming up in my mind, and that is not usual. In the ashrama, you don't get any vikara. You don't get any manaso vikara. But why? Something is happening which is not proper for the ashrama type of setup, something unusual is happening inside me after seeing him. So, kinnu khalu, nu is vitarka, khalu is avadharana, and kim is disapproval. So, every word here has some meaning. Kim, she disapproves, she doesn't entertain that idea. She doesn't like such feeling to arise in her mind. She disapproves it. Kim, why it should happen all of a sudden to me, who I am nurtured and brought up in this ashrama? It is improper, because she is not used to this type of, feeling which is emerging. So Kim is kutsa, her own kutsa. She is criticizing her own self, so she disapproves of that. Nu is vitarka. Why it should happen to me? After all these years I have been bred here, and never ever I was exposed to such thing. Why it should happen now to me? Kutsa for myself. Why she is not able to articulate that. Nu iti vitarke and khalu, but it is happening for certain, for sure. Khalu iti avadharanarthe. So all these three avyayas, kim, nu, khalu, every avyaya has a specific meaning. This is so great of Kalidasa, and more great, more greater I should say, for the commentators, who bring in the exact purport of every syllable as well. Kinnu khalu imam prekshya tapovana virodhinaha. So this vikara is tapovana virodhi, that much she is sure. This love which is emerging, something which is unusual happening, this is not conducive. This doesn't fall in the line of our ashrama behavior at all. Tapovana virodhinaha, vikara, this is a vikara. This is not a prakriti, this is a vikriti. That also she can surmise. Gamaniyasmi samvritta. Raja sarvaha vilokya. Aho samavayo rupa ramaniyam bhavatinam sauhardam. All three of you, your sauharda, your good-heartedness, so good you are. You just listened to me when I just suggested that you are also Parishranta. You immediately came and sat near me, and you are waiting upon me, you are taking care of me. So your good-heartedness, and all of you are of the same age, sama, vaya, rupa. So all your rupa also and vaya also. So he really appreciates them. And then Priyambada also, Janantikam, khusphus kar rahi hai. For with Anasuya, like Karane Rahasya Akhya Iva, she is murmuring something to Anasuya. She says, Janantikam. Janantikam is a dialogue which is heard by the person who is intended to be expected to listen to that, but not the other person who is sitting next to her. Okay. And Janantikam is normally done with a Tripataka sthana, like this. This you have to say and then talk something. So this words of that person, he is not supposed to listen, but every person in the auditorium is supposed to listen, right? So this is called Janantikam, Janasya Antikam. Anasuye konu khalu eshaha chatura gambhirakritihi madhuram priyam alapan prabhavavaniva lakshate. Oh, who is this person? He seems to be influential person. Prabhavavan, influential, impactful. Priyamalapan, he talks so nicely, so gently. And Chatura Gambhirakritihi, his akriti is, from his physique, we can make out he must belong to some good family, some Abhijata family, and the way he talks, the way he carries himself, everything seems to be like he is a very Prabhavavan Purushaha. Now this would come again and again. Akriti Vishesheshu Adaraha Padam Karoti and all that. Anasuya also has the same feeling, and we'll see again this next time. What is the Prabhava actually, and how Dushyanta could impress all three of them. And Shakuntala he impressed in a different manner because there is something happening, some butterflies in her stomach and something, she is getting goosebumps and something, Tapovana Virodhi Vikara. For Priyambada it is like an influential person, somebody from a royal family, and Anasuya also has a similar feeling. So all three of them have a feeling that Dushyanta is not just an ordinary person. Howsoever hard he tries to conceal his Rajatva, his Prabhava is visible. So, in the expressions of all these three people, these three girls also, there is a little variation. We will see it next time. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ